Hey guys, today's scary story was submitted by Shila. Big thanks to Shila for submitting this really scary and personal story. Also, if this story made your night a little more enjoyable, please consider subscribing or pressing the thumbs up button. I've been attending boarding school since I was young. Accordingly, I've been sleeping in school dormitories for as long as I know. It's pretty natural to have several roommates, up to 7 or 8. Being in the dorms with so many other classmates, there are lots of urban legends or tales of ghosts. Actually, a lot of inexplicable things have supposedly happened at my boarding school. One of my roommates have told me that in the past, a girl at our school had been possessed by ghosts. Yes, I said ghosts. Like 5 or 10 of them all at once. However, I never had the time to care about such things, as I'm busy enough with all my schoolwork. I'm just that kind of person. I don't really care for the existence of ghosts. Okay, maybe they're among us, but I never intend to be involved with them myself. Quite frankly, I want to keep it that way. Well, there was this one time at my dorm. Never mind. Do you really want to hear it? Fine. Honestly, I don't really like to think about it. But apparently, our dorm room has been haunted for a very long time. It's ridiculous, but my roommates insist that it is. Why, you say? Well, it's because of this ridiculous story about a night when we were all in the dorm rooms. The night when we supposedly had a visitor. But first, let me explain to you the layout of our dorm room. Our room is a big empty room with 8 beds in it. There are 4 beds on the south side. Let's call it side A. And there are 4 beds on the north side. Let's call that side B. There's a long wall of lockers in the middle that separate side A and side B. But technically, it's one room. There are windows on both sides of the room. And there are 2 doors, one door for side A and one door for side B. Well, one day, I fell asleep early because I had been studying all day. I am the study bug of our crew. Now, the remaining part of the story was told by my roommate, since I was asleep. My roommates were doing the usual, huddled together, giggling, and gossiping about the latest rumors. That was when suddenly, one girl saw a blurry, white figure right outside the window near the B side door. Right then, everyone heard knocking on the windows that were closest to the door. Then, the figure started to knock on the actual door. Thankfully, one of my roommates, Stacy, had locked the door. The door started to pound as if the figure desperately wanted to get inside. Was it a human? Was it a ghost? No one knew, but something didn't feel right. You see, usually, when someone approaches our dorm room, they'll let themselves be known. That didn't happen here. At one point, the figure seemed to shift its attention to side A of the room. It seemed to be longingly looking at the far right side bed. It hurriedly glided towards the side A door, and my roommates instinctively knew to rush towards that door. They immediately bolted towards it to lock it. You see, we often forget to lock the door on the A side. However, the figure was faster, and it almost opened the door. Luckily, Stacy got there in time to push the door back in with all her might. The figure was strong, and the strength it possessed seemed to come from some sort of energy, as opposed to a physical form. My other roommates rushed to the door and pushed the door in. They couldn't lock it. They only managed to stop it from opening all the way. A few of the girls screamed in terror. The struggle ensued on and off for about 10 minutes. Right then, Gabrielle recited God's word to chase this figure away. Eventually, our remaining roommates joined the recital. After a bit, the figure stopped pushing and glided towards the window. It seemed to longingly gaze at the far right side of the room before vanishing. For the remainder of the night, my roommates stuck closely together, unable to fall asleep. The entire time, I was fast asleep. Like I told you, ghosts and spirits never really caught my interest. You know, even after that time, I haven't had a single encounter, even though I wake up really early in the morning, like 4 a.m., and sometimes even stay alone in the room at night. My roommates do wonder why the figure just stared at the right side of the room before vanishing due to their prayer. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Wait, I just realized something. I sleep on the far right side of the room.